And Chris, you are there in Michigan. Let's start with you. What is the state of the race heading into tomorrow's primary? You have been out there.
Michigan primaries tomorrow. We all know what the outcome's going to be, but it's still going to be real satisfying seeing it play out.
You've actually spoken to both of these candidates.
Yeah, can I just say wild? I mean, it's highly volatile. It is unpredictable, and it is the biggest test yet. And this is the key part, the biggest test yet for the progressive movement in the Democratic Party, which has had a lot of success in 2026. Look, these two candidates, Abdul El-Sayed, who I'm going to be talking to at this coffee shop a little later on this morning, and Haley Stevens, are both millennials, but that's pretty much where at least the way they approach politics ends. And if you look at the polling, he is really peaking at the right time. He seems to have the momentum. There's a whole series of polls where he is ahead, and in some cases ahead by a lot. But when you look at a head-to-head matchup against Mike Rogers, who is going to be the Republican nominee here, he loses by 10 points, and she wins by just a little bit. So here we are with the key question. As in the closing days.
I think that Abdul El-Sayed has a very, very good shot at winning the general because Mike Rogers has higher voter saturation than he does in terms of like name recognition. Also, this has been a very damaging primary. Haley Stevens and her fellow acolytes of Israel have lied about him very aggressively. My only hope is that these people back off and recognize that they've lost so that they don't continue to damage Abdul El-Sayed's chances in the general. Worth remembering, though, that the deep state, including Chuck Schumer, would rather Mike Rogers win because he supports their secret, actual agenda of defending Israel.
I might also mention that this race has sometimes gotten nasty. The key question is, what do voters vote on? Do they vote because they like the personality of Abdul El-Sayed? He definitely is a charismatic politician. They like his Medicare for all. They like the fact that he likes to get corporate money out of politics. She has taken a ton of corporate money. Or do they say, what's the electability? Because believe me, people here know that in order for the Democrats to have any chance of taking control of the Senate, they have to keep this seat currently held by Gary Peters, who is retiring, in Democratic hands. And so that's why this has gotten so unpredictable. And so
the GOP wanted Abdul because they saw Stevens as weak. Yeah, I mean, I think this makes sense if you're a reasonable person. Like, obviously, Haley Stevens is an extremely uninspiring candidate. I think you'd have to be like an idiot globehead to not understand that. They don't even liberals. I say, mind you, every single time I say liberals in reference to people in power within the Democratic Party, they consider them crypto fascists, technocratic fascists. They are not liberals. They literally don't believe in liberal values. They don't fight for them. They don't believe in them. They don't make arguments for them. I'm saying liberals here with contempt. I support liberal values in the same way that Karl Marx supported many liberal values. In the same way that Marxism is very distinctly a post-liberal ideology. This tweet is about Wisconsin, but you might notice that on the left side of this image, there's a very distinctly Michiganian figure right over here. This tweet's about Wisconsin. Is it? It might be about two states at once. Washington's plan to block them. Is this the proposed two-state solution people keep talking about? Yup. Per the memo, as reported by Aipac, Hong's combination of grassroots momentum, unapologetically progressive ideology, and a platform centered on high turnout makes her uniquely dangerous in the general. Hong's platform is broadly popular and difficult to counter. Her agenda is built around kitchen table issues that pull strongly with... This is specifically about Francesca Hong, but applies also to Abdul El-Sayed to an extent. Listen, this is like very, very straightforward. Everyone knows that Haley Stevens is a weak candidate. McMorrow would have been a better candidate, but she crashed the fuck out. Insane. I genuinely think McMorrow would have beaten Abdul El-Sayed had she not focused her entire candidacy on being like really fucking racist. If she had just run against them, progressive against progressive, and it had been a normal, straightforward competition, and also if Chuck Schumer had not obstinately backed Haley Stevens but rather gone with McMorrow, McMorrow probably would have won. But Chuck Schumer won't take anyone but the most devout servants of Israel, so Haley Stevens it is. And McMorrow's, I think it was really like her campaign advisors as well, because a lot of the people around McMorrow were basically like, you know what you should do? You should get really Islamophobic with it. So the whole thing was mismanaged from the Democratic Party. You know, Abdul al-Sayed's the only person who's been consistent and principled and disciplined. He's going to win tomorrow. Obviously, he's going to win tomorrow. But God, we need him to beat Rogers. We really need Abdul al-Sayed to beat Rogers.
Tomorrow, Abdul...
Dude, Haley Stevens looks like a fucking Chucky doll. She looks haunted in every picture of her.
al-Sayed will deliver the biggest blow so far.
Did they try to defame McMorrow by claiming she was DSA, or did I imagine that? No, you didn't imagine that. Schumer and the people around him are so deranged that they would attack McMorrow for being DSA because she wasn't sufficiently pro-Israel, even though she privately filled out like an Aipac checklist to covet their approval. Yeah, Gillibrand did that. Gillibrand, sorry, I always mix those up. Really, it's Israel or nothing for these people. They would sell the entire country out. Schumer and the people around it, they'd sell the entire country out.
Against the establishment of the Democratic Party, because he is the heavy favorite going into tomorrow. Just take a look at the prediction market odds. Okay, chance to be the Michigan Democratic Senate nominee, Abdul al-Sayed. Look at this. He's up to a 98% chance, according to the Kalshi prediction markets, way up like a rocket compared to where he was on April 3rd when he was just a 28% chance just a few months ago. The bottom line is this. You look at all the data that is out there. Abdul al-Sayed is the very heavy favorite going into tomorrow. And of course, he is backed by a lot of folks on the left wing of the Democratic Party. And at this point, as I said at the beginning, he looks tomorrow to deliver the biggest blow so far against the establishment wing of the Democratic Party.
Give us some sense of just the amount of anger that is there, really at incumbents, not at, you know, just a particular person, but at incumbents, at people who are the establishment.
Sarah, I think that
I don't like this framing because it suggests that voters are just angrily lashing out when Stevens is an unbelievably uninspiring candidate on every possible level. Like, Stevens is just fucking evil. It's not just like, oh, the voters are lashing out, the voters are irrationally da-da-da. Like, Stevens is also, even by the standards of establishment candidates, really, really bad.
this is part of a larger story within the Democratic Party, right? That is why tomorrow is so key for understanding where the Democratic Party is right now. And you can see it nationally. What do Democrats want? Democrat and Democratic leaders who think the party needs at least major changes. Look at this. In 2022, it was just 33%. Look where it is now. The clear majority of Democratic voters are those who lean towards the Democratic Party. 57%. A clear majority believe that the party needs at least major changes. No wonder what we've seen so far is incumbents go down and defeat the House of Representatives. No wonder what we've seen so far this Democratic primary season is the establishment losing and losing and losing again in key races. And no wonder that Abdul al-Sayed is favored tomorrow, because the Democratic Party's voters at this point are so upset with the establishment. They're saying anything else, please. And Abdul al-Sayed, who just 8 years ago during Trump's first term got blown out running for Michigan governor against Gretchen Whitmer, tomorrow is the heavy.
I think they might also underestimate the biblical flood of Haley Stevens ads and pamphlets in the mailer are a turnoff. Well, they are rapists, right? Much like Eric Adams, you know, you're getting it whether you want it or not. They're largely unconcerned with what the Democratic constituency is actually interested in. The Zionist does nothing but browbeat. They don't convince you of their position. They just accuse you of being anti-Semitic for not agreeing with them. This turns off a lot of voters, you know? Like, people generally find it detestable. There's a reason Israel fumbled an unbelievable PR advantage. Billions and billions spent to launder their image in America. It's been successful for decades, and then after October 7th, it all just got pissed away because they couldn't engage in even a modicum of self-control.
Favorite, because simply put, the Democratic Party is looking for something new, and they are looking to go against Haley Stevens most likely tomorrow, who of course is a sitting congresswoman.
I do want to ask you just how motivated Dems are. Where's the energy? How motivated are they to go out and vote? Because numbers matter.
Yeah, numbers matter. Who in the Democratic Party is motivated to turn out and vote this election season? The energy right now is on the left wing of the...
Yeah, a really positive indicator is that in basically every race across the country, if you poll people who are extremely motivated to vote, those people are always more left-leaning than the general voting population. Like, basically all across the board, the very motivated to vote people are either more Democrat-leaning or more with the progressive Democrat-leaning. The energy is with us here, overwhelmingly.
The Democratic Party, where Abdul El-Sayed is. Just take a look here. Okay, Dems extremely motivated to vote. Look at this. 80%, 4 in 5 of those who identify as very liberal say they are extremely motivated to turn out and vote. Compare that to all others within the Democratic Party. A significantly lower chunk, just 3 in 5, 59%. Abdul El-Sayed kind of comes together, puts it all together as an outsider, comes from the populist progressive wing in the party, and that's why I think tomorrow he is the heavy favorite. If he does,
he's going to win tomorrow. I just want him to win by the largest margin possible. Let's check some clips.
Ask, why is it that our $3.3 billion a year at baseline is used to fund apartheid at baseline, genocide over the last several years, a war we have no business fighting, with the attempt to annex the southern part of a neighboring country, and then wonder why our kids' schools look like they did 50 years ago? The reality of this is that we cannot
you haven't
continue.
made that same trade-off argument with regards to other items in the U.S.'s $800 billion
I have. You
defense
just
budget.
don't cover it. No, I have. You just don't cover it. I'll say the same thing about the money we send
Love that. Love that. Be a little contentious with it. These people are evil. They're the scum of the earth.
to Egypt, which is where my family comes from. So if you want to go ahead and call me anti-Egyptian, go ahead and do that. But the reality is that on principle, I don't think we should be sending unconditional foreign military aid to any government, because none of us actually pay our tax dollars for
On
for
principle,
our
then,
foreign
are you
government's
against
military.
ethno-religious states writ large?
Look at my liberals, dog. Just like she really thought she had something here. Look at my liberals, dog. This is on MS Now. Look at my liberals, dog. We got nothing but the best ideological defense for liberal principles here. Just pure enlightenment bullshit. Fucking incredible, man. So you're against ethno states in general, then? Smug.
On principle, I absolutely am.
She has no response to it. She's like, oh damn, I really expected him to be like a jihadist or something. I really expected him to defend like a Sharia caliphate or whatever. Phenomenal. Or I guess it'd be Sunni. No, wait, I said Sharia, not Shia. Sharia Sunni caliphate. Fucking idiot. I fucking hate these people.
Campaign has been largely and loudly populist, but also anti-Zionist. And you've sort of married those two things, equating funding for Israel with underfunding healthcare, for example.
Oh, does this encompass the larger clip?
Let me just be very, very clear. You know who benefits from guaranteed health care in this country? Jewish Americans.
No, it's not the same clip. It's just that the Zionists repeat the same questions over and over.
State against the needs of, in your own words, our own people, echoes an old anti-Semitic trope.
Let me just be very, very clear. You know who benefits from guaranteed health care in this country? Jewish Americans. The idea that somehow we are going to use the specter of anti-Semitism to defend what a foreign government is doing actually does a deep disservice to the well-being of Jewish Americans in this country. Judaism and the Jewish people are a light unto the world, beautiful faith, beautiful people. The contributions that they've made to this country alone are staggering. And I'm looking forward to standing with the Jewish community against anti-Semitism. After all, anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are one in the same, and we need to take them on. But we cannot sit idly by and ask, why is it that our $3.3 billion a year at baseline is used to fund apartheid at baseline, genocide over the last several years? I'll say the same thing about the money we send to Egypt.
Yeah, now we're back in the same clip. Great stuff. Evil, evil woman. What kind of questions are these? Hold on one second. Jackie Alamani. Oh, Jacqueline Alamani. An anchor for MS Now, previously a congressional correspondent for the Washington Post. Let's see. Her mother served as president, chairman, and CEO of CIT Group. Excellent. Graduated from Harvard. No, it's great. It's great. Only joined MS Now's The Weekend last year. Oh, and look at that. In 2024, she married Jake Levine, a special assistant to President Joe Biden. It's interesting. Literally like intermarriage power brokering between a daughter of a CEO of a banking group, CIT group, that's banking, right? I believe financial services company, it says on Wikipedia, marrying a close advisor of the president of the United States. It's very liberal. Very liberal stuff. All that and the money difference. Michigan Senate Democratic primary ad support. Look at that. Look at that, man. Abdul Al-Sayed is just... Abdul Al-Sayed has raised so much money, and it's just blown out by the Aipac support. Just absolutely... Just overwhelmed by the Aipac support. They wanted her to win so badly. Aipac might still get their way, though. Rogers might still win. Keep that in mind. We have to make Abdul Al-Sayed win. He needs to win over Rogers. Doesn't matter, though. Yeah, but Aipac doesn't just want Haley Stevens to win. They want Rogers to win, too. Thankfully, they've burnt through a good bit of money on Stevens. They don't have infinite money. Just, you know, near infinite. What is this? What's this crumb of food? What did I eat? Oh, that's a bit of protein bar. How has a crumb existed on my desk for that long without me noticing? I'm a sloppy little internet boy is what I am. Is this the most money spent in a primary ever? Good question. Yes. How dangerous is Rogers? He's a Republican.